नमस्ते, जय हिंद। स्वागत है आपका इस लाइव स्ट्रीम पर। मैं हूं जेमी ऑल्टर। हम बात कर रहे हैं एक बार फिर से कल की डिफीट के को लेकर। कल शो पे काफी हमने बातें करी। आई वोंट गेट इनटू ऑल द निटी ग्रिटी बिकॉज इफ यू डू दैट विल बी टॉकिंग फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द डे, और भी कम है जमाने में। बट द पॉइंट इज कि जब आप एक टफ सीरीज में, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जैसे सीरीज में आप एक अच्छी शुरुआत करते हो, एक अनएक्सपेक्टेड शुरुआत, यानी कि पर्थ टेस्ट में आपके कप्तान नहीं है, आपके नंबर 3 नहीं है, आपको 2 डेब्यूटेंट को खिलाना पड़ा, आपने पर्थ टेस्ट जीता। उसके बाद आपके पास एडवांटेज था, आपके पास मोमेंटम था, लेकिन आप एडलेड जाके वो मोमेंटम आप फॉलो अप नहीं कर पाए, और आपकी वही गलतियां बैटिंग की। वी आर नॉट यूजिंग पिंक बॉल एज एन एक्सक्यूज। देयर इज नो एक्सक्यूज। आप ये नहीं बोल सकते हो कि यार ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने 13 पिंक बॉल मैच खेले, हमने सिर्फ 5 खेले हैं, फिलाना ढिमकाना। नहीं, बात है कि आपकी बैटिंग नहीं चल रही, और आपकी बॉलिंग जो है वो बहुत 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 ओवर रिलायंट है इस शख्स पर, यानी कि जसप्रीत बुमराह पर। और कल रोहित ने कहा था कि भाई बाकी बॉलर्स को काम करना पड़ेगा, बुमराह दोनों छोर से नहीं डल पाएंगे, बुमराह सुबह से शाम तक बॉलिंग नहीं कर पाएंगे। So yes, there's a definite reliance on Jasprit Bumrah. The bowlers were very good. Siraj was good in Perth. Harshit Rana, sorry, was very good in Perth, but come Adelaide, Harshit Rana clearly looked overawed by the occasion. पहली बॉल शायद पिंक बॉल से खेल रहे थे, टेस्ट में तो जरूर खेल रहे थे, और उन्होंने गलत लाइन डाले। मोहम्मद सिराज भी शुरुआत काफी खराब थी, बेहतर होते गए। बट द पॉइंट इज के जब आप बैटिंग जब आपकी बैटिंग यूनिट 200 नहीं पहुंच पा रही है, और पिछले 5 टेस्ट मैच में 4 बार जो है, सॉरी 5 पारियों में, माफी चाहूंगा, 4 बार ये भारतीय टीम ये भारतीय टीम 200 तक नहीं पहुंच पाई, तो द बैटिंग रिमेन्स योर प्रॉब्लम। बैटिंग घर पे दिक्कत दे चुकी है, और ओवरसीज में तो दिक्कत दे चुकी है। But I'm wondering how much of, and please share your views here. By the way, do like the live stream before you ask a question. How much of the batting of Rohit Sharma, the frustration that Rohit Sharma is facing as a batsman, he's averaging about 11 in his last 6 tests, if I'm not mistaken. Runs बिल्कुल नहीं आ रहे। उनका जो प्रीवियस शतक था वो 7-8 महीने पहले की बात है। ही इज क्लियरली स्ट्रगलिंग, एंड मेरे हिसाब से क्लियरली जो बैटिंग स्ट्रगल्स रोहित शर्मा के साथ हो रहे हैं वो उनकी कैप्टनसी में आपको दिख रहे हैं। वो काफी लॉस्ट लगे मुझे एक बांग्लादेश टेस्ट मैच में। वो पहला टेस्ट मैच जो था चेन्नई में, फील्ड्स बीइंग स्प्रेड टू डिफेंसिव, वी सॉ द सेम काइंड ऑफ कंफ्यूज्ड, समटाइम्स लेथार्जिक, आई हैव टू यूज द वर्ड लेथार्जिक कैप्टनसी ड्यूरिंग द न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज। और अभी भी एडलेड में कहाँ जसप्रीत बुमराह के अंडर बॉलिंग चल रही थी। चलिए बैटिंग तो फिर भी नहीं चली, पहली पारी में 150 पे ऑल आउट हुई थी इंडियन टीम, पर जब बैटिंग कंडीशंस बहुत आसान थे उस 2 दिन के लिए, तब इंडिया ने जाके तकरीबन 500 रन बनाए। बट यू सॉ द बॉलर्स वर परफॉर्मिंग बेटर, दे वर पर्क्ड अप, देयर वाज अ नोटिसेबल लिफ्ट इन द फील्ड। और जैसे ही रोहित शर्मा वापस आए तो वही लेथार्जी देखने को मिला, एंड आई थिंक पर्सनली कि वो उनकी खराब बैटिंग से लिंक्ड है। बट जो सबसे बड़ा सवाल मेरे साथ है, मेरे पास है आज, गौतम गंभीर जब आए थे कोच कोच बन के, तो बहुत सारी चर्चा हुई थी कि गौतम गंभीर और रोहित शर्मा कैसे कैसे चलेंगे। रोहित शर्मा of course was a very very successful captain. He taken the Indian team to the one day World Cup final last year, T20 World Cup जीतते आए। और दूसरी तरफ गौतम गंभीर केवल, कभी भी कोच नहीं रह चुके थे इससे पहले, केवल एक मेंटोर के तौर पर उन्होंने इस साल केकेआर के साथ आईपीएल ट्रॉफी जीता। नाउ different people, different attitudes. Gautam Gambhir charged up, serious. Rohit Sharma more laid back, happy to use garden में घूमना type approach. But so it was a clash of two distinct personalities. लेकिन दुख की बात है दोस्तों कि जब से गौतम गंभीर और रोहित शर्मा एक कैप्टन और कोच की बेसिस पर जुड़ चुके हैं, तो रिजल्ट्स बहुत 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 खराब है। पहली बार जब ये दोनों एक साथ जुड़े तो वो श्रीलंका में था। सूर्यकुमार यादव और गौतम गंभीर, कैप्टन कोच ऑफ द T20 टीम, उन्होंने श्रीलंका को 3-0 से हराया था। जैसे ही रोहित शर्मा, विराट कोहली और कुछ सीनियर वनडे प्लेयर्स वापस आए तो पूरा माहौल बिगड़ गया। They lost 2 out of 3 one-day matches. The first match was a tie. और ये जो सीरीज लॉस थी श्रीलंका जाकर, ये 27 साल के बाद पहली बार किसी भी इंडियन टीम एक ओडीआई सीरीज हारी श्रीलंका से। 27 साल दोस्तों, रोहित और गंभीर के अंडर। उसके बाद गैप था 40-42 दिन तक, बांग्लादेश आई और थोड़ा स्ट्रगल किया इंडिया ने चेन्नई में, but overall this pair and that fantastic Kanpur win in 2 days, that became the first success for Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma as a captain coach जोड़ी. सबने कहा न्यूजीलैंड आएगी, मैंने बहुत बार कहा कि न्यूजीलैंड आएगी और इंडियन को आराम से हराकर 5-0 होम रेकॉर्ड के साथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाएगी. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. न्यूजीलैंड स्टन्ड इंडिया and Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma, captain and coach Jodi, they oversaw India's first 3-0 whitewash at home. उस झटके के बाद टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया गई. रोहित शर्मा नहीं थे, लेकिन जब गंभीर और जसप्रीत बुमराह एक साथ एक जोड़ी बने, जैसे कि आप सब जानते हैं, इंडियन टीम ने वो पर टेस्ट मैच जीता. बुमराह बाहर गए, रोहित वापस आए, गंभीर भी छोटे से ब्रेक से वापस आए भारत लौटकर, और नतीजा आपके सामने है. 2.5 दिन के अंदर एक हार. यानी कि अब लगातार 4 टेस्ट मैच, 3 न्यूजीलैंड के साथ, एक ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, ये कैप्टन और कोच जोड़ी ओवरसी कर चुके हैं. तो इट्स अ वेरी 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 पुअर सक्सेस रेट दैट दीज टू पीपल हैव, यानी कि रोहित शर्मा एंड गौतम गंभीर. और मैं मानता हूं कि कोच का काम सिर्फ बाउंड्री तक सीमित है. कोच फील्ड पे जाकर कैचेस नहीं लेते हैं, रन्स नहीं बनाते हैं, बॉलिंग नहीं करते हैं. पर कोच हैज अ रोल in the engine room, in selection, in planning, in pitch assessment, in team assessment. And unfortunately, it looks like on the basis of, well, it's been 6 months since Gautam Gambhir has been coach. It looks like Bahar say all is not right with the Rohit Sharma, Gautam Gambhir pair. They might be getting along, they might be taking some good decisions, but on the field, जो भी प्लानिंग, जो भी नेसेसरी चीजें हैं एक टेस्ट मैच जीतने के लिए, चाहे घर पे हो या बाहर, ये दोनों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. नो डाउट रोहित शर्मा, जैसे कि मैंने कहा था, रोहित शर्मा का खराब बैटिंग फॉर्म उनकी कैप्टनसी पे असर कर रही है. He's 38. He's probably wondering how long do I have left as a test player. इंडिया WTC फाइनल सिर्फ एक मैथमेटिकल मिरेकल के साथ पहुंच पाएगी, क्योंकि जैसे कि मैंने कल कहा था, 4-0 was the perfect, the ideal scenario for India to seal their place in next summer's WTC final. लेकिन 4-0 का मतलब है आप एक भी टेस्ट मैच ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाके हार नहीं सकते हो. और कल की हार के बाद, yes, there's mathematical combinations. England beating New Zealand will help India's case. If Sri Lanka can win against South Africa today, all these things. लेकिन मैं कह रहा हूं ये सबको मारो गोली. जब आप ठीक से एक सिंपल तरीके से या आसान तरीके से आप टेस्ट मैच नहीं जीत पा रहे हो, तो आप WTC फाइनल पहुंचने के हकदार नहीं है. So all these combos led together are leaving me looking at the outside, peering in, wondering, is the Rohit Sharma Gautam Gambhir combo the right choice? Because we've had a massive sample size. बहुत फैंस, बहुत मीडिया एक्सपर्ट्स, जर्नलिस्ट, पत्रकार लोग वो कहेंगे नहीं नहीं कोच का कोई रोल नहीं है, पूरा कैप्टन पे आता है. बिल्कुल कैप्टन पे और आता है कोच के अलावा, बट द सिलेक्शंस, not being able to read conditions, not being able to read the right 11, playing Akashdeep was the right way to go. They did not do this. And the poor form of, once again, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, the bowlers not doing the job. Why was Ashwin picked? He didn't do anything with the bat, didn't bowl many overs. Small things जो कैप्टन और कोच को देखना चाहिए था. मैं मानता हूं ये दोनों, यानी कि रोहित शर्मा और गौतम गंभीर, ये नहीं कर पाए. Let me know what you think. एक और पोल आपके सामने. Have your say. Is गौतम गंभीर the right man to coach टीम इंडिया? आप लोग बताइए. सवाल पूछने से पहले जरूर लाइक बटन दबाइए. देखते हैं आज कौन कौन हमारे रेगुलर व्यूअर्स हमारे साथ है. अरे मनीष सबसे पहले कमेंट. गुड मॉर्निंग मनीष, कैसे हो भाई? ये दिल्ली मुंबई स्कूल ऑफ थॉट का क्लैश? नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये बस दो अलग इंसान और कुछ गड़बड़ सोच का नतीजा है मेरे हिसाब से. कैप्टनसी का एक एक्सपायरी टाइम होता है when you go out of ideas and your drive goes. Rohit is near that, correct. Plus the struggle is better adds to it. बिल्कुल, already discussed exactly what you've said. Absolutely. Is Rohit Sharma going to step down? I don't see him doing it in the middle of a tour unless, India struggles, or even if India wins in Brisbane and Rohit Sharma struggles as a batsman. Because like I said, I have no doubt his poor batting returns, averaging 11 from his last 6 test matches. He failed in that practice match against the Prime Minister's 11 as well. I have no doubt that the poor batting has put such doubts in his head that now it's clouding his judgment. So will he retire during the series? I don't expect him to. But if he were to say, you know what? I'll keep playing as a batsman. I'll try and do my best, but I feel that Bumrah is a better captain now. That would not surprise me. I think Rohit Sharma could possibly do it, but पता नहीं मुझे लगता नहीं है कि वो सीरीज के बीच ऐसा कुछ करेंगे. Good morning, Prashant. How are you, my friend? Kunal पूछ रहे हैं, will they promote Nitish Kumar Reddy up the order? You tell me who, Kunal, who would you boost down to put Nitish Kumar Reddy? You're going to move Virat Kohli, who the world loves, or are you going to move Rishabh Pant, who's a proven match winner at number 5, 6? Are you going to boost Rohit Sharma down to number 7? You tell me, my friend, because I don't see him going up the order. I thought it was conspiracy of Rohit-Gambhir not aligned. Conspiracy of कौन सा conspiracy भाई मुझे समझ में नहीं आया आपका comment. Correct. So I think individuals do matter. Maybe Gambhir gets along more with Sky. I don't know, but clearly right now the Rohit Gambhir combo is not working. V Ramasubramaniam Saab, what's the purpose of scoring at 5 runs per over when we end up losing before lunch? Yes, sir. I guess you missed the last two streams when we discussed this exact topic of the batting just not working. KS पूछ रहे, could you shed light on what it means when one say an aging batter has lost their eye? Do reflexes slow down that dramatically at 35 for some, or is it a small drop? Well, I'm not an elite sports person, but there's enough evidence. Virendra Sehwag comes to mind. Um, when you get to 35 plus, it's very obvious that somehow your reflexes are going to slow. And if you have eyesight issues, if you're not spotting the ball, cricket is a game like in life of timing. Some of the greatest batsmen, we judge them on their bat speed, the time it takes them to hit the ball. Some batsmen, I think of Mark Waugh, I think of Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, Brian Lara, um, Michael Vaughan to some extent for a certain phase in the early 2000s. It seemed like they had that fraction of a second more to judge the ball and play off the back foot. Traditionally, when a batsman starts to, as you say, lose his eye, the eyesight becomes a problem. They're not spotting the ball. It's that fraction that they had before, that fraction goes away. But it's not just eyesight. It's also footwork, it's technique, it's bat speed. Like you said, it comes down to reflex. And in cricket, even a split second or a second of a reflex drop can often see you get out. Look at Virendra Sehwag. He was clearly struggling, in the last 2 years of his career. The shots which used to ping off his bat, KS, they were being edged into the keeper, edged to third. I remember that in that Australia one-day try series, he was cutting balls. Remember, Virendra Sehwag used to cut Shoaib Akhtar. The ball used to fly over third man for 6. But against Sri Lanka, I think twice or thrice he was caught at third man. So that's what it means. And that small drop that you asked about, it is massive, massive when it comes to playing cricket. That's my very basic layman's analysis. Ashutosh कह रहा है, you have hit the right chord. GG is trying to insert players who it doesn't want. जबरदस्ती उनके liking के players घुसा दिया जा रहा है. Same happened with Dravid and Kohli, as latter wanted Jinx and Puji. I don't know. I'm not sure if players are being inserted. I understand जब लोग कहते हैं कि वो KKR का lobby है. I'm not so sure what it is. I would like to believe that Nitish Rana was picked for the Perth Test because he was bowling very, very well in the nets. But that's it. Like I've said half a dozen times, maybe more, I would have gone for Akashdeep purely for the Adelaide Test match because you needed that kind of skinny, pitch it up, jagged back in kind of bowler like Bumrah is. And Harshit Rana was not the case. Now, he's the only KKR player we saw. So I'm not going to read too much in that. But clearly, there is something not right. I don't know what the reasons could be, Achutosh, but clearly this Jodi is not working because, like I said, when you oversee a first ODI loss to Sri Lanka, 27 साल के बाद, मतलब आप कह रहे हो 27 साल तक कोई भी कैप्टन कोच जोड़ी श्रीलंका से नहीं हारी और इनकी पहली इनिंग्स में ये दोनों हार गए. चलो, you can say first time gelling, Sri Lanka played really well, turning tracks, batsmen were struggling, कोई बात नहीं भाई. फिर आप जाके न्यूजीलैंड से 3-0 हारे. 12 साल के बाद आप घर पे हारे हो. आपके क्रिकेटिंग इतिहास में आप कभी घर पे 0-3 नहीं हारे हो और इन दोनों ने न्यूजीलैंड के सामने ये लॉस ओवरसी किया. एंड देन बूम, Perth, positive, spiking, energetic team becomes very flat, lethargic under lights. So clearly it's not, the blame doesn't lie on these two. If the Indian team collectively पिछले 5 टेस्ट मैच में 4 बार 200 तक नहीं बना पाई, इसका दोष रोहित शर्मा और गौतम गंभीर को नहीं जाएगा. Catches drop हो रहे हैं फील्डर से, you cannot blame them. Bowlers are not hitting the right lines. You cannot blame them, but clearly the thinking, or there's something is not adding up to me about these two. You know what I'm saying? Vivek पूछ रहे Ashwin Anna career coming to an end. It will in the next year if he doesn't play any more test matches in Australia. India's not playing at home now for almost a year. India's next test series, Vivek, इसके बाद is 5 test matches in England. वो 5 तो अश्विन नहीं खेलेंगे क्योंकि वो अक्सर नहीं खेलते इंग्लैंड में. So slowly, like Rohit and Gambhir, Rohit and Kohli and Jadeja, he too will probably be phased out in the next year and a half. अगला कमेंट है श्रेयांश से. श्रेयांश पूछ रहे हैं रोहित वी के अश्विन जड्डू को और नहीं नहीं एक्सटेंशन किसी को नहीं मिलने वाला है. अगर इंडिया, जैसे कि मैं मानता हूं, WTC फाइनल नहीं पहुंच पाएगी, फिर चारों खिलाड़ी को ये देखना पड़ेगा, और ये बात मैं बहुत बहुत बार कह चुका हूं इन लाइव स्ट्रीम्स पर. इन चारों को बैठ के अपने आप से पूछना पड़ेगा कि क्या हम 2 और साल खेल पाएंगे, यानी कि क्या हम एक और WTC साइकिल खेल पाएंगे 25 और 27 का. क्योंकि जब से WTC आया है तो सारे देशों ने मिलकर ये तय किया है कि भाई हमें और मैचेस जीतने पड़ेंगे. इट्स बिकम far more result oriented test cricket landscape since the WTC came into effect in 2019. अब कोई टीम ड्रॉ नहीं करती है, कोई टीम ड्रॉ करना चाहते नहीं है. पिचेस चेंज हो चुके हैं इस लेवल तक कि भाई आपको रिजल्ट के लिए कुछ भी करने पर मजबूर करते हैं. तो ये सब देख के श्रेयांश, मुझे लगता नहीं है कि रोहित, कोहली, अश्विन, जड्डू वो 2 और साल खेल पाएंगे. और WTC में आप रैंडमली एक सीरीज के बाद, लाइक धोनी, यू कैन नॉट क्विट बिकॉज नाउ द गेम इज चेंज. यू नीड टू बी एट योर बेस्ट टू इंश्योर रिजल्ट्स, ताकि आप WTC फाइनल पहुंच पाए. तो आई डोंट थिंक ऑल फोर ऑफ देम, एटलीस्ट टू, आई डोंट थिंक रोहित एंड एटलीस्ट Kohli, if they continue to fail in these 5 test matches, I don't see them lasting 2025. They might choose to, especially Virat, they might choose to play that 5 test series in England next summer, July, August. लेकिन आप मान के चलो कि कोहली वहां नहीं चले. अगर बार बार वो आउट होते गए, एजेस जाते गए स्लिप्स के पास, कीपर के पास, I don't see him lasting. रोहित का वैसा बल्ला नहीं बोल रहा है, जड्डू और अश्विन को यहाँ तो बाहर कर रहे काफी मैचेस में. तो I just don't see them lasting too much. Yeah, we've got 3 super chats. Thank you. Yeah, Shubham, thank you very much. आप कह रहे हैं, in my opinion the only solution to Rohit batting is he should play like his ODIs or T20s. Best form of defense is to attack. बात सही है एक लेवल तक, लेकिन जब उन्होंने कोशिश किया था ये हाल ही में, इंडिया में, तो वहां नहीं चले. एंड इट्स वेरी टफ. शुभम, आई थिंक यू विल आल्सो एग्री कि स्टार्क और हेजलवुड या स्टार्क और कमिंस या स्टार्क और बोलिन, जो भी नई गेंद से बॉलिंग करेंगे ब्रिस्बेन में या कहीं भी, बहुत मुश्किल होगा उन जैसे बॉलर्स को शुरुआत से मारना. सो आई डोंट थिंक रोहित शर्मा अभी उस माइंड स्पेस पे है कि वो आगे बढ़ के मारेंगे. उन्होंने बांग्लादेश के साथ किया एक पारी में, वहां वो सफल रहे. बाकी जब भी उन्होंने किया था घर पे, रिजल्ट्स इतने अच्छे नहीं आए, और अगर आए भी तो एक 40-50, और आजकल 40-50 से ज्यादा नहीं होगा यार रोहित शर्मा के बल्ले से. Thank you, Vipin, for your super chat. Thank you, Rocky, also for your super chat. Hello, Rocky. Hope you have a good day, my friend. Anonymous user, Gambhir applying same strategy for T20, ODI and Test. लग तो रहा है, but भाई ऐसा तो नहीं होता ना. Amandeep, good morning. Yes, this question came yesterday. This question came day for yesterday, and I don't have an answer. ऐसा मुझे कोई इंसान नहीं दिख रहा है इस इंडियन टीम में जो कंसिस्टेंटली इस इंडियन टीम को लीड कर पाएंगे. जसप्रीत बुमराह लगातार 4 टेस्ट मैच नहीं खेलते, तो आप उनको कप्तान नहीं बना पाओगे, क्योंकि फिर आप चौथे टेस्ट मैच के लिए आप किसको लगाओगे. ऋषभ पंत has a long way to go to. He's a fantastic batsman. His keeping is a bit inconsistent. अभी आप उस पर दबाव डालोगे तो हो सके वो मैजिक ही चला जाए. शुभमन गिल को आप फिलहाल नहीं डाल सकते. मेरे पास कोई जवाब नहीं है भाई आपके सवाल का. Siddharth, Jamie said everyone is questioning Rishabh not trusting his defense, but has he arrived any time where one can construct? बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो. Very, very rarely has he arrived at a time when he's had a platform. But the best part of him, like I discussed yesterday, is look at the England tour of 2018, look at the England tour of 21, look at the South Africa series, not too long ago. जब भी ये आया है और विकेट गिर चुके हैं, he's just gone and batted the way. He got a brilliant 158 in England. It was in 2021. India were like 5 down for 90 odd or 4 odd for 80 odd, and he got 158. He did this in Australia in his first tour 2018 में. टीम 2-3 विकेट्स गवा चुके थे, तो ये बंदा वैसे ही खेलेगा. मुझे इस बंदे से कोई शिकायत नहीं है. हाँ, आजकल कीपिंग में थोड़े वो ज्यादा फंबल कर रहे हैं, ज्यादा ड्रॉप कर रहे हैं. But I don't think anyone, if they actually are an Indian cricket fan, can actually criticize Rishabh Pant, because if you look at his success, it totally outweighs his failure. And there have been times when he's trusted his defense. We saw that in the Australia tour of 2021. It wasn't just mad slogging. He wasn't playing all these shots then. He was actually defending, taking singles, and hanging at the wicket. And I don't think it's very long before we see a big innings from him in Australia. रोहित होपलेस होता है जो होता जाता है विकेट. बिल्कुल, हम तो बहुत बहुत दिन से भाई ये डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे. I promise I'm not speaking with the power of hindsight. I didn't like Ashwin's inclusion in the 11. Yes, I agree with you. I said the same thing yesterday on the Cricket Next channel as well as here. Before the match, I said if you want to go, I said stick to Washington Sundar. I would have personally wanted Jadeja because I knew that India's batting wouldn't work, and you want the best batsman of all three of them. And of the three spinning all-rounders, for me, the best batsman is Jadeja. I was not in favor of Ashwin's inclusion, but I said they will pick him. And unfortunately, he didn't do anything much, So he bowled well, but he just wasn't the Ashwin that we all know and expect. So I don't see him playing. He might play Sydney now, but I don't think he'll play in Brisbane or Melbourne. Rohit should replaced by Ruturaj or Sai Sudarshan. वो दिन ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है भाई. वो दिन ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है. Why doesn't BCCI confer with them and arrange? Sachin is Sachin, first of all, and he knew that the time was over. Very, very different individual. These two are very, very different personalities. It's not going to happen, sir. It's not going to happen. When team loses every time it feels they're not unity in team. Refute with coach and blah blah. There's other coach and captain. एंड कैप्टन एवरीथिंग जस्ट डिपेंड ऑन रिजल्ट. पर आप बताइए, रिजल्ट जब नहीं चल रहा है और एक कैप्टन और कोच लगातार 4 टेस्ट मैच हारते आ रही है और 27 साल के बाद एक ओडीआई सीरीज हारी है, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है ना इन दोनों की सोच में. वेरी वेरी ऑब्वियस यार ऋषभ. ऑल्सो द लेंथ इंडिया बॉलर्स. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, we discussed this, that 1.5 hours in that final session the bowlers did not do the job. And I go back to my point, purely for the Adelaide Test, not Brisbane. Brisbane, I will still back Harshit Rana. For the Adelaide Test, you needed Akashdeep, and they made a huge blunder by not picking him. So that's one factor why they lost. A very, very small factor. Do you think BCCI should have hired Gambhir as T20 ODI coach? Yes, that's a very valid point, and something we had discussed in the build-up to his appointments. And I said, you're living in an outdated world if you still want the same team for 3 formats, and you need to have a white ball and red ball coach. Absolutely, I'm on the same page, my friend. Would love to see Ashish Nehra kind of coach. No. He's good for IPL franchises. He's not an international quality coach. Your king, hitman, prince run nahi karte every time you expect Jaiswal and Pant. Absolutely. Bilkul sahi hai. Gill is inconsistent. He's got a very poor record in Sena countries. The good thing about Gill is that he didn't get big runs. He got 30 and 28, but he looked the best batsman. And in a low-scoring series, where a 4 innings, 3 times India's failed to get to 175, at least the guy is getting you 30s and 28s. Rohit and Virat Kohli, walking wickets, yeah, walking wickets. Any chance of Putnam? Pujara was done a long time ago. Looks like this problem is similar with Australian players and Justin Langer. There was something there, but it was more evident with Langer. यहाँ मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, क्या करें इसका यार? Why Ashwin is getting put outside Test? It's better to trust Washington. बिल्कुल, Washington that has better bowling form, has better batting form. I would have wanted him as well. रोहित इज आउट ऑफ फॉर्म. बाहर करो भाई. बात तो सही है, पर कौन बाहर करेगा भाई इनको? इंडिया में हम बाहर नहीं करते हैं यार सुपरस्टार्स को, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. Do you think GG's lack of performance in Sena and perception regarding aging cricketers is clouded since he himself struggled with age and form? That's a good question, Akshat. It possibly could. I like what you're saying, but if that's the truth, then they made a blunder by hiring him as coach. If there's any truth to that, who knows? It's very, very possible. Yeah. The point is, we want a proper all-rounder as eight as well. Says a lot about our batting. Batting तो बहुत सस्ती है भाई. सालों से हम इतने shows कर पाए हैं कि बैटिंग में दिक्कत है यार. बैटिंग में दिक्कत है. India approach to any difficult condition nowadays is counter attack. Big, bilkul, bilkul. We've discussed it. It works. It works against Bangladesh. It's not going to work against Australia in Australia. So clearly, that's why I said this man on our screen, this man now on your screens, गलत 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 सोच है इनकी. बहुत बहुत गलत सोच है इनकी. Okay, moving on to some more comments. Anjana Mimi, okay. Jamie, I work for the government. Shami's stuff is already on the way to Brisbane. He'll leave in a few days. Not sure he'll play Gabba, and Rana won't play Gabba of some sort. It was planned. Well, you know my views. If you watched the show for the last couple of days, I don't think Shami is anywhere near playing a 50-over match. So flying him to Australia when he's only been playing T20 cricket for the last few weeks and bowling 4 overs in 2 over spells, that's 2-2. Disaster sending him to Australia. So I'm not so convinced, but ठीक है आपने बोल दिया हम आपकी बात मान लेंगे. But he's not playing anytime soon. Rohit, I've seen on two previous tours to Australia, something wrong. Bilkul, bilkul. We've discussed this. His record in Australia leaves a lot to be desired. But right now, more than the past, forget what happened in the past. The point is, right now, anyone can say. I mean, they're teenagers will tell you that, boss, pitch it up, put one back, he'll play because the bat's coming at different angles. And not just here, yeah. Matt Henry, Tim Southey, Will O'Rourke, even that Bangladesh pacer Hassan Mahmood, they were all working Rohit Sharma over in India. तो पर्थ में कहाँ वो खेल पाते और यहाँ पे तो it's just a very very bad time for रोहित शर्मा यार. I think ध्रुव जुरेल could be a good. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बात तो सही है. वो लग रहा है पर बंदा 23 साल का है. कम से कम 3-4 साल तो खेलना पड़ेगा. So again, not an option right now. Talented player like Nitish Teddy, you mean Reddy, should be given more chance. बिल्कुल. I mean, I don't think Reddy is going anywhere. By the way, आपने देखा होगा 4 पारी में से इस टूर में 3 बार तो आपके सबसे हाईएस्ट रन गेटर नीतीश रेड्डी थे. तो वो बंदा कहीं नहीं जाने वाला है यार. Shashank, thank you for super chat. Kohli looks confident on the field. Why isn't he making runs? Well, he's not made runs now for the last 4 years. He has 300s in 4 years. We've done countless shows on why he's not working. He's trying very hard, but he doesn't have a back foot game. He doesn't cut the ball. He only plays off the front foot. And when you're constantly looking to be aggressive, come on the front foot, and you're not willing to change your game and you're getting older, it's a case of the reflexes slowing. And everyone knows now, you pitch the ball up, do not bowl middle and leg, just pitch it up. And Virat Kohli, maybe after 10 minutes, maybe after 20 minutes, maybe after 30 minutes, he will, mark my words, edge you. और इस सीरीज में हमने वही देखा है, barring one innings. But even that one innings in Perth, it's been surrounded by 3 failures where every time he's nicked off. So very, very sad that a man who I thought personally would be a 15,000 test run player, he might struggle to make it to 10,000. And the last 4 years have been a very, very tough, strange period for Virat Kohli and all of us Virat Kohli fans, because to watch a man who turned around his test career after a horrible 2014, from 15 to 19, he averaged almost, I think, 95 in test cricket, Shashank. And that man averages 32 now over the last almost 4 years with just 3 centuries. So it's just a matter of him not being willing to change his game. He has 0 back foot game against pacers. And when you're constantly lunging, 8 out of 10 times you will nick behind and fail. But thank you, my friend, for the super chat. What's up, Rajat? I joined late. Have you discussed what changes you want to the next? Yes, I discussed this yesterday as well. And today, Harshit Rana has to go out for Akash Deep, and Ashwin has to go out for ideally Washington Sundar, if not Ravindra Jadeja. I felt the planning between the management has not been good. One clearly favored Akash Deep and Mukesh, the other not so much. Correct. And the point is, the common factor is Akash Deep. We needed him in Adelaide, और वो नहीं हुआ. गिल फर्स्ट पिंक बॉल टेस्ट था, लेकिन 50 तो मारना पड़ेगा. हाँ नहीं, बिल्कुल उन्होंने पहली पारी में एक सेट सिचुएशन को गवा दिया. वेरी वेरी लेट टू दैट स्कॉट बोलन स्लोअर बॉल. पूरी गलती उसमें गिल की थी. दूसरी पारी में भाई स्टार्क ने क्या बॉल डाला उनको. लेकिन जैसे कि मैंने कुछ समय पहले कहा था, एक लो स्कोरिंग मैच में जहां टीम 150 से आगे नहीं जा पा रही है, 30-28 के स्कोर्स फिर भी ठीक है, क्योंकि बाकी प्लेयर तो वहां तक भी नहीं पहुंच रहे ना. What an irony, Jamie sir. Gautam sir always says bowlers win the match, but in his coaching, batters lose the match. बिल्कुल सही है भाई, बिल्कुल 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 सही है. Ravi Shankar, the silent celebration to crowd was nonsense by Virat Kohli. Pat Cummins, Bilkul, we discussed this yesterday and day for yesterday. Doing all this when you're not scoring runs and your team loses in 2.5 days doesn't really suit you. Keep quiet, let the bat speak, let the ball speak. And Pat Cummins doesn't need to indulge in all this to the crowd. He comes up, takes 5 wickets, and his team levels the series. Rohit should retire from Test after BGT. Bilkul, we've said this in many, 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 many past streams. Just anyone who's not got a chance to comment, a lot of repeat. Quick Maniac, welcome back, my friend. How are you? Kohli scored more in SA because of aggressive mindset. Whatever format it is, if you're ultra defensive, you can score. He's not ultra defensive. He's actually too aggressive. If he just takes his time, if he says to myself, Sachin Tendulkar, prime example, 241, didn't play a goddamn cover drive the whole match. Virat Kohli has inspiration. He's played half his career with Sachin. He's not changing his game. Like I said, against pace, he has no back foot game. He doesn't cut. He doesn't steer the ball. He's always looking to come forward. But when bowlers are getting smarter, when they're varying their angles, when they're picking you out, you have to change. I wish he'd become defensive, but he's just too bloody aggressive, which is why he keeps getting out nicking. Time lelo. Do what Pujara does. Do what KL Rahul did in Perth. Take 40 balls to get off the mark. यार आप lunge कर रहे हो second ball, आप lunge कर रहे हो third ball. भाई 4 स्लिप्स लगाएं, एक गली लगाएंगे. वो दिन दूर नहीं जब लोग 8 फील्डर लगाएंगे ऑफ पे और बोलेंगे भाई अगले 1 घंटे के लिए बॉल को बाहर रखो. He is not willing to bat out time. This is my very basic layman's analysis. Can Sundar play the batsman? He could, but then you may as well play Dhruv Jurel, who's a much better batsman than him. No? Rohit opener number 6. Yeah, I think for the next match, let him bat at number 6, and then we'll see. Because Melbourne and Sydney are easier wickets for Indian batsmen. So let's see. Jaiswal, KL, Shubman, VK, Pant, Rohit, Jadeja, Nitish, Bumrah, Kashdeep, Siraj, my playing 11. Yeah, that's what I would want too, my friend. You're right. रोहित को निकालो और बुमराह. हाँ बस मैं अभी फोन करता हूँ बीसीआई को, भाई इसको निकाल दो, ठीक है. चलिए, last one, guys, gotta go. Perth or Brisbane, which is more tougher for overseas team? Well, history will tell you that for 32 years, no team won at Brisbane, so I would say Brisbane. At least 2008 में इंडियन टीम जीती, कुंबले की टीम जीती पर्थ में, और एक दो टीम्स और टीम्स जाके ओल्ड वैका ग्राउंड में जीत पाई. So I will say Brisbane. ठीक है. चलिए guys, you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. ठीक है. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you for all your comments. Do like the stream before going. Goodbye. Jai Hind.